These are the first two books in my Intricate Ties series. It's a duet that Tyler has just finished the second book of, so that's what we're going to be doing tonight. I like to describe this series as, if you picked up 50 Shades of Grey, but instead of that kind of disaster couple, it was a pair of like sweet boys like Shane and Ilya from Heated Rivalry that really love and trust each other. That's kind of the vibes. So Tyler likes to call it healing after he narrates all of the traumatizing books. Mine are the ones that make him feel better.
It's true.
But our first book, essentially is from Miles's point of view. It's he's decided that he needs a little bit of help as a recovering alcoholic, and someone has recommended that perhaps learning the art of surrender would be a good way to let go of control and start feeling better about himself. So he's spent an entire book just falling madly in love with the professional that he's hired to help him do this. And we finally get to meet Darren, his point of view in book 2, which is the 21st, I think, of April. We'll be out of ACX jail, hopefully, if I've mathed correctly. And yes, Darren is not a ginger. He just has auburn hair, as my wife is pointing out in chat.
Not that there's anything wrong with ginger.
Yeah, the books are available on KU. You can get to them through my BIO. I've got author signed copies available too. I think that's about it. I'll let Tyler do his hot thing once he has it available.
I will do that. All right. I was just answering a question for Travis. Okay. Are we ready?
We are ready.
Ha. Am I ready? Hi, everybody. I'm Tyler Laux. Welcome to my live. And this is Held in His Command, which I was so happy to be able to continue this story. Prologue. The Weight of Command. Darren Quinn. For the 4th time in 3 years, my so-called partner was forcing me to make a choice. He was drawing a line in the sand with the expectation that I'd cross it. It was the same ultimatum time and time again. Choose them or the job. And I was so tired. I'd seen this breakup coming for a few weeks. It should have been some faint consolation, but instead it had just made things worse. In truth, I'd seen it coming when James and I had first started dating, and willfully ignored my better judgment. I wanted a relationship. I wanted a partner. I'd been upfront with James about what I did for a living at the end of our first date. Is that going to be a problem? I'd asked him, my stomach clenching anxiously. He'd been dropping hints all night about going back to his place for coffee, and I very much wanted to. It had been almost 6 months since my last relationship, and I missed the warmth and comfort of romance. Unfortunately, I'd already learned many times over that my job was far more attractive to a boyfriend in theory than it was in practice. I managed Shimizu Services, New York's most exclusive haven for the overburdened. There we provided unique therapeutic services, applying the balm of trust and emotional healing to the rich and powerful men and women who needed to surrender their burdens the most. When I'd been offered the position, I'd known immediately what an amazing opportunity it was, and I hadn't let that go to waste. I'd created the place I'd always dreamed of working in, a place where my employees were safe to use and grow their unique skills, a place where those in my care could escape from their troubles and even find healing. I'd made it a rule for the past 10 years to tell anyone I thought I might get serious with about my job before starting down the road to romance. I didn't like lying about such an important part of my life. Better to be upfront and cut things off at the pass if they had problems. than to get attached and deal with it down the road when it hurt more. I helped people in deep, meaningful ways, but all my exes had wanted to see was that I was spending that energy on people who weren't them. I couldn't help but be nervous. I'd already liked James even then. He was vibrant and social, and despite being younger than me, seemed like he was happy and confident, and had a good head on his shoulders. All our interactions so far had shown me that he was a sweet, passionate man ready to give himself to a whirlwind romance. I knew I was a catch. I wasn't traditionally handsome, but I had a great complexion despite my auburn hair and freckles, and a great body to go with it. More importantly, I knew how to work it. I was also extremely financially stable, despite not visibly throwing my money around. You do that for work? James's eyes lit up, and he pressed closer to me. Oh my God, that's really hot. Is it, legal? There's nothing illegal about it, I assured him. Everything is consensual and above board. It's a sanctuary of wellness and retreat. I just help people get what they need. I cupped his face, heart aching for him to understand. I don't cheat, James. When I commit to someone, I'm all in. But I won't give up my career, and sometimes that means helping patrons. Do you help them a lot? He asked, looking worried. Sometimes, but not regulars. The man who set up Shimizu was my only one, and that's not something I can give up or want to give up. But I'm not, and will never be in love with him. I'm looking for a real relationship. A niggling little voice in the back of my mind had seen the stars in his eyes as the shallow, romantic dreams they were. I shouldn't have ignored it. I'm looking for a real relationship too, James had breathed, arching up to kiss me. I promise I'll support my sexy, hard-working man. And maybe you can show me some of the fun things you do at work. Smiling, I'd drawn him closer. Oh, honey, if you are my lover, I can show you much, much nicer things than I do at work.